Hey guys, Muskie Road Rules Podcast and Patreon. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And thanks for becoming a member for the Patreon. Guys, it's super easy. Just go to patreon.com and search Muskie. I'm the only one. It's not hard. It's not that expensive. You're a muskie fisherman. It costs less to do this than it does to buy a leader. Guys, think about it. Trust me, I've got a story in a little bit that I'm going to need a little money. So, yeah, if you love me or if you like me, keep me from starting an OnlyFans. Keep the world from seeing me on OnlyFans. No one wants to see that. All right? Anyway, let's go back to this. Thanks for watching the Patreon. And, yeah, we're going to talk a little muskie fishing here today. We're actually doing this early in the morning. And I'm having my coffee. Everything looks good. The sun is coming up. It's beautiful. And I've got two guys on here today that I think you're really, really going to hear from. I actually just got back from Lake Bemidji and Cass Lake. Actually, I fished Cass Lake. I think a lot of the guys in the tournament did. And the third leg of the PMTT tournament. And I've actually got the winners of the tournament on here today. I have Alex Mclean. And did I say that right, Alex?
It looks like Mclean. Everyone on Earth says Mclean, but it's actually McLean.
McLean?
Yep.
Oh, McLean. I like that. It must be French. And I've got Ryan Becker on. How are you guys doing?
Good.
It's a beautiful morning.
It is a beautiful morning. And for you guys watching on Patreon, Alex could not get his camera going. He's actually trying to use a Polaroid. And he is all blacked out. But Ryan's here. Ryan's bringing the sex appeal back to the podcast. I don't bring any appeal. So lucky for you. There you go. And ladies, he's single. I don't know. Are you single?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Yeah. Ryan's single. So So if you're a beautiful 22-year-old watching a muskie podcast on Patreon, which I'm sure you are, all of you out there, Ryan's ready to go. That's the way I'll leave that.
That beard is going to get him going.
It is. He looks like a tall gnome. It's going to get him. Ryan, Alex, I tell you what, we fished the Cass Lake tournament and experienced an absolute domination by you two. That was pretty cool. You guys came in there and well, let's start first. Let's start first like this. It's early. I'm sorry. I got brain fog right now. It was Alex, start with you. How did you get into muskie fishing? Why did you get into muskie fishing? Just think that you're in front of a 12-step program meeting right now. And what got you into this whole deal?
I started muskie fishing 23 years ago, and lo and behold, it started on Cass Lake itself.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to take good old family vacations up there, specific cabin on Cass Lake for about 35 years now. And
where are you from, Alex? Sorry to interrupt.
I grew up in the Twin Cities.
Okay.
Twin Cities. Now up in Bemidji, Cass Lake area. Very grateful to get out of there and be up here. And yeah, on these family vacations, it's just classic story of out fishing with the old man, walleye, pike fishing, and throwing spoons. And had a big old Cass Lake muskie chase me into the boat and just came back about 5-6 times casting a spoon. Back then I didn't know what a figure 8 was, and I just kind of dangled everything by the boat and watched this giant fish stare at my lure over and over and over. And this is that very moment that I just got the itch, got the passion. I went to a local tackle shop. I think I got an old Abu C3 and a 6-foot rod and some 50-pound braid off the bat, and started scouring the old forums, Muskie First, etc. And that's been all up and downhill from there.
Yeah, no, that's what it used to be. The old message boards, and before social media and everything, it was all the message board stuff. And hell, there's probably still guys out there creeping on that. So, well, cool deal. Ryan, where are you from, and kind of what's your story?
I'm from Clear Lake, Iowa. I grew up here, born and raised. I started muskie fishing in 2006. I had caught him before out here, walleye trolling. I got a 48 with my dad walleye trolling, and I was really young when I got that. So I didn't quite have, I knew what they were. I just didn't really get into it crazy until I was in high school. And
well, Ryan, how old are you?
I'm 36.
Oh my
30,
God.
37 in like a month and a week or two.
Oh my God. All right. I thought you were younger than that. All right. You must moisturize. Go on. I'm a moron.
No, you're good. Yeah, I mean, my uncle used to go over to Okoboji and Spirit and fish their IDSO tournament, their fall tournament, and always talk about the huge ones they saw over there. And then I started fishing them with my dad here in 06, and I bought a silver blue nickel showgirl, double showgirl, and that first night we went out, I made one cast and caught a 42-incher, and it was pretty much hooked from that night. I think my dad got a 48, and we got two others. Literally the first time ever fishing for him specifically.
Oh, this is easy. This shit don't take nothing.
Right? Something like that.
I like that. I mean, that was I have actually only caught a muskie on the first cast twice. And the funny thing was, one of those times was Wednesday morning on Cass Lake.
Nice.
We had just got out there. We pull up to a spot, and I'm like, this spot. We fished this the last time we were here. It looked good. I think I was like, Tony and them got their fish, up there a little bit. Let's just start here as a point. And I threw out what did I throw out? A hybrid. One of the hybrid baits from actually Boss Shad owns that now. And I threw it out and started jerking it. I'm like, oh, well, there's some weeds. And all of a sudden the weeds started pulling. And so, yeah, no, I was always, I just figured, first cast is the kiss of death. The other time it happened was actually in a PMTT at Cave Run. First cast of the morning, we caught our first fish. And subsequently, only fish at 7:04 was caught it, put it in the boat, and that was the last one we seen for the weekend. So yeah, that was I figured that was probably what was going to happen this week. But all right, let's talk Cass Lake. Let's talk about some of the stuff out there. You guys were on them. You guys got 6 fish. You got a couple really nice 47, 48 inchers, some smaller ones. I was super impressed with Cass. There was with Cass because there was, in the whole tournament. Do you know much caught out of Bemidji? Was there like 3 fish caught out of Bemidji, or Alex? Do you know?
I think it was 1 or 3. I don't know if those guys who got the big one on Bemidji got all 3 there.
Well, I think they did. I think they got at least 2 because in the pictures they only had 1 fish going into Sunday or Saturday, the second day. So one of those smaller ones I think came over there too, if not both of the small ones.
Okay.
So yeah, no, it was so mostly Cass. There was 52 fish caught. Now I fished the Cass tournament for, almost every one that we've had there, I think. And I don't think we've ever hit over 50 fish caught. And it's typically been a tougher bite for, or a slower bite. So either the population's getting better or, we hit a good period or something's going on. What do you think, Alex? You live up there.
Well, we were on the fish or the pods of fish that we wanted to locate. Overall, I'd say a week before the tournament, I was thinking that 2, maybe 3 fish is going to win the tournament.
Oh, wow.
It has been like overall throughout the season tougher than most years.
Yeah.
So I think we really just stumbled into a series of perfect weather conditions, especially for Friday opening day.
Mm-hmm.
That just really fired up the bite that day.
Well, now why do you say that? Because Friday, to give guys an idea, Friday the water temps were, and you can correct me anytime. I don't care. The water temps were anywhere from 71 to 73. It seemed like it was calm in the morning and pretty calm up until probably 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that. It wasn't hot, but now you'd had some warm days in there. And it was, it was kind of prefrontal in the fact that it wasn't a rain front really, but more of just a cold front was getting ready to come in. Is that what you think got those fish going?
Yep. I 100% think that's what got them going. You mix the prefrontal conditions with that just kind of dense overcast. I mean, where we were fishing anyways, we had like that nice, very light chop on the water. Everything just felt great out there, and the bites seemed to replicate the feeling. So
yeah, no, I mean the fish were definitely going. We suffered from the dropsies on that first day. We lost a couple fish and caught our fish at 3:52. Rick had a Hail Mary and pretty much what I was doing was running my tiller because the wind picked up a little bit there right towards the end of the tournament, and I was running my tiller in reverse, kind of slipping down a brake line, and was just really, we'd gotten blown off of it, and I was just getting back to it, and he threw a cast, and all I hear is "got one," and I'm like, "No, you don't." Or I think my exact words was "bullshit," and he did, thank God. But speaking of running my tiller, I'm going to put a picture up here real quick, and I'm sorry to divert from what we were talking about, but I've got to talk about this real quick. I forgot to do it at the beginning, but let's add this up here. Let's add to stage. All right, this was my night last night. Okay, have you ever been running a tiller and the tiller arm fall off?
No. Wow.
I have a 115. All right, here I am, Lake of the Woods. It's a beautiful evening. I'm out with my friend Vicky, and she had just got her first muskie for the year, hadn't been muskie fishing much. She moved up to the northwest angle. She gets a 44-incher on a top water, where it's all nice. We start to head in for the evening. We're going along. We hit a wave, and it actually, one of my graphs kind of bumped down a little bit. So I took I shut the motor down. I pushed the graph back up so I could see. I go ready to take off. All of a sudden I feel something, and now I'm holding my tiller handle like a club.
Oh no.
And we're about, I don't know, 5 miles out. And so at first I'm like, oh, this isn't a big deal. And I look, nope, it was a big deal, because the bolts holding it in there actually broke in half. Ooh. So what you're looking at right there is actually my tiller handle that I'm using for throttle. And so I steered this thing 5 miles last night 115 Yamaha with a pair of vice grips. Those
Oh,
are
wow.
Nice.
those are vice grips right there. That only took about, I think we got in, this happened around 8 o'clock. I think about 10 o'clock we finally got to the boat dock. So today, this is going to be my job today, to go and figure out how to, I'm going to lean on my neighbor, Jordan. Jordan can fix anything. I texted him. I said I need a good, to tap some screw holes. And he said he's the world's best at tapping holes. So I am very excited for this today. And so if you thought you were having a bad day, you weren't driving in with a pair of vice grips last night on Lake of the Woods. So just wanted to share a lovely story of what it was like to be me last night. Anyway, at least it didn't break in the tournament, because I probably would have hit Tim Woodlackey in the head with my tiller arm. Or Stella. Stella, come here. I'm going to straighten that eye. Get them both woke up. But all right, back to the tournament. Pat, I could sit here and talk forever about my crap. We are, Cass Lake got fired up. Now, you got up there, both of you guys, and said that the fish that you guys caught were on glide baits. That super annoys me, because I don't get along with glide baits. Most of the time, outside of spring, I throw them, the fish follow, they no eat. So, what the hell were you guys doing?
Yeah.
Either one.
Basically, just Alex had a tournament up there recently on Leech, the MMT or whatever, and he said that, or they took second throwing gliders.
Why?
I hear you. I haven't thrown them a ton the last several years. Some in the spring, like you said, Greg. But a few weeks ago, I was up on a southern Minnesota lake, and my cousin was throwing some and moved a couple fish. He's like, "Here, you throw this," and I'm like, "Whatever." Started throwing it, and I'm like, "Dude, I'm not good at working these anymore." So then Alex says that, and I'm like, "Well, I literally have to become that guy again, I guess." And I went out. We fished the weekend and then fun fish Sunday, and Monday Alex had to work. I went out and got back to work figuring out what our game plan was going to be, and I literally caught a 49.5 that swallowed the gliders we were using, and I was like, all right, well, I guess that's what we're doing the whole tournament. And it seemed to be all those fish wanted, to be honest, other than a couple other fish Alex got on a little bucktail.
Yeah, I'm right there with you in terms of, the frustration with the glide baits. I'm in the same boat as Ryan, where just the last few years kind of lost touch with them.
Yeah. I
and
mean, it's Clearwater, Minnesota. It's usually just, oh, look at that. I'll go follow that over there and not bite it and frustrate the shit out of you.
Yep, exactly. The traditional experience. It wasn't until that tournament. I have a buddy that, we got second in that tournament a couple weeks ago, who was just a fanatic with them. He always has been, and he's just a master craft at working the baits.
Yeah.
And he came up, and the way we we missed day one with boat issues, and he came back and pulled out the glider for day two, and the fish just came unglued on him. And the rest of that week, I'm like, I took the bait out and started operating gliders all week, and the way they were eating them was just shocking. Like, it's like they hadn't seen them in a few years, which they probably, I don't ever see anyone throwing them in this area.
Because no one's that fucking stupid. That's exactly what happened. So, yeah, I mean, I don't get me wrong. If you make a glide bait out there and you're actually listening to this, I still love you. Glide baits are wonderful baits. I catch fish on them in the spring when the water's a little dirty. I've caught fish on them in the fall when it's colder. But summertime glide baits, all they do is entertain the person that's throwing them most of the time. Because it's one of those baits that unless you're working them super fast, and I know somebody's going to send me an email and probably cuss me. I have 2 G's in my last name. Please spell it right. Or in my first name. They just, a glide bait traditionally in clear water, summertime, warm water. I shouldn't say summertime, but warm water, can be just a hard bait to get bites with, right? I mean, it's not a bait that traditionally gets bit. And I've tried working them super fast and stuff like, and just really adding speed and a lot of erraticism to it. Oh boy, did you hear that word? And it will, I'll get some bites, but it's never been super consistent. So let's talk about the way, do you think it was the bait or the way you were working the bait?
I think it was a specific color of the glider, first off.
What color was it?
It was just like a darker walleye, weird, and then I just threw on a Mogambo grub whitetail.
Okay.
And Alex was working his like slow, methodical, and I was making mine have the illusion of like it's working fast, but it's coming to the boat slower type deal. So mixing it up,
that?
just like, tap the rod real fast, get it to dance, and then come back to working it slow.
Okay.
And the crazy part is every single fish that we had eat the glider swallowed it. It just literally just came up behind it, or they'd roll on their side and completely inhale it. It was pretty impressive. So I don't know if I was working it a little bit more erratic than Alex for sure, but then I would come back to working it slow throughout the cast, just mixing up the cadence the whole time.
Now, can we say what said glider was?
If you want to, Alex.
I don't care. I don't. At this point, they're just
$7.5
original Phantoms.
Yep, 7.5-inch Phantom.
Fuck you.
That
is that makes this even more annoying. It's just I thought it was like,
You want me to grab it and show you? I got it right here.
Yeah, yes. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Oh my God.
I got to replace the tail, but see how chewed up it is? It's beat up.
That's like an old paint job too.
It's an OG Phantom.
Yeah.
You can't even find it. You'll never find it again. And somehow Alex rolls it right out of his box too. So that's why we were able to double up on it.
The same bait. Yeah.
I'm like, how do you have that?
That was back. Todd was listening to Van Halen and had a he was using a wire screen as scales.
Exactly. Yeah.
With all these paint jobs right now where people are like detailing scales and stuff, that is virtually almost a rattle can sprayed through a screen door.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what's crazy is, Greg, is I threw almost every other color in the box, 7.5-inch Phantom. I had one follow on Canadian Crush. They would not even look at anything else.
Yeah, we threw different gliders
as
well,
different
like probably
styles.
4 or 5 different gliders, and they wouldn't even sniff it. And then these old, I don't know. Are these the wood? Yeah, these are the wood.
Yeah, these ones are wood. Yeah.
As soon as those came out, it's all they wanted, and it's been like that all for the past 2 weeks since that tournament. And that's when I texted him and I was like, hey man, like you've got to bring what you got of these, as awful as this sounds. Like,
I cannot. Wow. That's crazy. I would have never. Well, imagine that, a muskie in Minnesota eating a Phantom. Huh.
Right.
That, I just, great baits. I've caught a lot of muskies on Phantoms. But I cannot believe that a summer turn, especially August. August is the hottest time of the year, and you're getting fish on glide baits. That's, God, that makes me laugh. But yeah, when you guys said that, I was thinking, oh, they're just, they're burning bucktails, maybe top water
No.
and all that. And you guys said glide baits, and I was standing right by Gus Manty, and I just looked at him and go, "Fuck you," because that was the one bait I was probably not going to throw.
That's kind of what we figured from the rest of the field as well.
When we told, and we've probably told 6 or 7 of our buddies and friends what we were doing, and they all said F off, every last one of them.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, it
lined up with the scenario. Everything fell together. The perch were absolutely stacked in this spot. We were fishing in a couple spots, and it just, like I told the story the day one, I was literally working my glider at the end of day one, got a huge school of like baby, 4 or 5 inch perch following, and a 53 to 55 rolls right behind my glider, eating the perch that were following.
Lovely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Just worked out.
So what kind of structure were you guys fishing?
So really shallow water. We were trying to find like inside weed lines. That's another thing. Like, even though the water temperatures weren't sub 70 yet, we're about 2 weeks early on that push to sand and reeds, and really shallow weeds. And they were there. There's been sandfish, reed fish. I know like Ty got a couple of reed fish. And so they started that push a lot earlier than expected, despite the water temps not being quite as cool as I want to see that push happen. But yeah, we were really, really shallow for the most part.
So are you talking 2 feet, 4 feet?
4 feet. Yeah. 4 feet 4 to 5 feet was like the magic number for the boat.
Yeah, that was the fish we got on the second day. We went up. We spent all day the second day up shallow. Probably should have spent it on the first day. And caught one right away in the morning on the top water, what you're supposed to catch them on in cold front conditions up there. Yeah. So you guys on the first day had 4 fish. Did you guys have any? Were you guys having a lot of follows and stuff too?
Oh yeah. Especially late in the day, they really showed back up that last hour, but they were kind of nipping behind it. They finally got a little weird at the end of the day. I had like a 50 to 52 scream up and just nip the tail, and then a bunch of other low 40s nipping the tail. So we moved quite a few.
We had action pretty much all day, I would say. Looking back at our fish here, so we caught at 8:15, 9:15, 10:30. And then we went on a little lull and then caught the last one at 2:00.
Wow.
And then the end of the day, from 3 to 4 was just fish were burning in all over the place, it felt. So it was kind of an all day thing, maybe a short lull in the later morning, but not much.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to have 3 fish in the boat before 11 o'clock. That definitely makes you feel good. Yeah, I think on Saturday I lost one at 10:30. I lost one at 2:00, and then we caught the one right at the end. So we kind of had bites scattered throughout the tournament too, plus seen some fish and everything. So going into Sunday, you guys or Saturday, my bad. These Friday, Saturday tournaments always confuse me. Going into Saturday, you guys had 4 fish. What were you guys in, third?
Yeah.
Third place. You guys, the leader, Mark Lejiski, had 2 mid-40s that bumped him up there. If you guys don't know how the PMTT works, you get basically the bigger fish do get it's bonuses to get bigger fish with, every, a 30 incher is 14 points. Every quarter inch past that is an additional 10 points. So you get 4 points per inch over 30 inches. So the bigger fish, you definitely get more points. Plus, you get a 10-point bonus for the fish being released. So all that stuff plays in there. And then, so Sunday or Saturday, Jesus, I really like the conditions on Saturday. Cold front, wind, air had cooled down, water temp dropped. Where we were fishing, I noticed a water temp drop of about 2 degrees. And for me, I thought, shit, these things are going to be fired up. And first pass with a surface bait, I caught one. And so I'm like, oh, here we go. Just hold the net. And that was the only one we caught. Moved some more fish. Had one more blow up. What were you guys feeling on Saturday?
Yeah, I personally felt the same. That cool nip in the air, nice breeze. Like I threw a surface bait as well, thinking, wow, it's now they're going to start eating topwaters. But lo and behold, that wasn't going, and just switched back to the gliders, and they started eating those again. So unexplainable, but it felt great that day. I guess I thought there was going to be a lot more fish caught, and I know we were sweating still with 6 fish, and that normally we shouldn't be.
No, definitely for sure. Was the spots that you guys were fishing, did you guys change anything and try to find wind spots or get out of that wind? Because it was a strong wind. Because my ass was like, all right, I'm gonna get in the wind. Visions of Mille Lacs 25 years ago. Here we go, tiller. Handle don't break. If it would have broken that,
that'd have been bad.
I would have been sending up the SOS. And, it would have been, I could have seen it. I'd been like, yeah, all right. Yep. This is about how it should go. Because we got it right in the teeth of it. And I was using the tiller to take us around reed lines and stuff. And, but it did not pay off. But you guys?
Yeah. Day 2, it started off a little slower. I moved a really good one right away, and then it took a little bit, and Alex got that 40 1/4. There was like 3 windows throughout day 2, and we got a bite on each one. And unfortunately, the last one with 30 minutes to go in the tournament, I made it for sure a me error. Tried to horse that fish and backflip it right into the net, or because he was right there ready. But day 2 with that mega wind, and it was super windy on our spot. We had to just run it differently than we did day 1. Set up more drifts, side drifts, kind of control it, stay on the upwind side of things more. So that definitely changed how we approached it, but it was almost better in a way too, how those fish reset up, and then we could stay above them a little bit and bomb way down on them. And so it gave us more time to catch them out on the cast versus having them just fall into the boat.
Sure.
Yeah,
I get it.
I was gonna say, like on these spots too, a thing that I found interesting is we weren't really, like, my side imaging is really, really dialed, but we weren't marking fish on these spots. But except for when the windows were opening, once the windows were opening, they started showing up, just burning along the reed lines, the weed lines, and like, oh, there's one, and then immediately after, oh, there's a fish that swallowed the bait. So they were hiding pretty good when the windows weren't open.
Okay, so they were holding tight and stuff to the weeds. I was noticing that actually last night in some spots where I'd go through and I would and the fish were showing up and then almost just disappearing at times. You'd see them 1 minute, go back through, and this was even with the live scope. I was, running it while I was casting and noticing and watching them just really hugging the weed line tight and actually going into it. And just, you'd go through the bay, you knew they were there, but they were not coming out. And then all of a sudden, you'd see one on side imaging, you'd see one on live, and then all of a sudden one would pop up, and last night they were short striking, but you'd at least see a sign of life, which was nice. So, well, guys, I tell you what, that was pretty impressive. You were dialed in, you had it. It was home water. It always feels good to win on your home water. Now, you guys fished all the tournaments this year, and you guys needed to fish, right, in this tournament?
Yep, blanked it the first 2 tournaments, and just Cave, we kind of got on some fish, didn't get him to bite. Eagle River, I had a bunch of fish found, and then during the tournament, the last hour, I guess, of Eagle, we finally got back on some they didn't eat, but we were struggling bad there. So
yeah, I get it, man. A lot of people think going into these tournaments, all I got to do is catch a 30-incher. Oh, that's freaking easy.
Not easy, no.
I go, all right, let's see you. Buckle up. Let's see how this shit goes. So we're going to the championship, and it is in Clear Lake, Iowa, which happens to be where, Ryan, you are from. And when you do Google Clear Lake, Iowa, the only thing that comes up is Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and where the plane crash was, where those guys died. So at least you're famous for death. That's good. And apparently muskies, though, because there is, talking to you and other people, the place is just crazy with just, a lot of muskies down there. Tell for people that don't know, maybe give a little overview of the lake. Nobody's looking for secrets here. I'm going to save that for when I get you drunk. And what kind of what is, how does Clear Lake set up, and what's the deal there? How long's muskies even been there?
They started stocking clear in the 70s or 80s, 70s, I think, because I remember my dad talking about them. So that's when they started stocking them. And there was actually, before we had aerators, they had a fish kill. I don't remember what year that was, but they had a major fish kill here of all species. And then, so they had to restart over. Kind of, some fish survived, but not a lot. And they had to restart over. And it just became super healthy. And, back when I started, there was maybe one other muskie boat that fished here. And it gets more pressure now, but it's still relatively light pressure, especially this time of year, because everybody's in Minnesota, Wisconsin. It's busy in the spring before those states are open. But, Clear runs west to east or east to west, and we have 3,500 acres. It has a little lake attached to it, which was dredged out, so it's got some deeper cuts and a little bit deeper water over there. The main lake, 15-foot max depth, and it's kind of a shallow bowl, and we have an island and some good points, and not a ton of structure, but there's some good rock piles out there and some artificial weed beds, and then all the shallow weeds that grow.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been looking at the maps of Clear. The lake that you said is dredged, is that because it's east-west, kind of looks like a figure 8 with a big bottom.
Yep.
The little part, is that the dredged part? Because it looks like those contour lines are very straight.
Yeah.
And it looked like, I was wondering about that, because it did not look like something that was just randomly made. It looked like it was actually a made thing. Now, it looks like on the map there is like a bridge and like a little slough area. Is that just like a swamp or something?
So on the north end of the main lake, we got Venetian Village, and then the other one's the Harbridge. Those are just little canals, and I don't know if they're open in the tournament or not. I'm assuming they are, because you can navigate and go in there. They're just little canals where people keep their boats and stuff.
Okay.
No, and you can go in there. They always hold fish, but
sure. No, I don't know what the limits are in the tournament. I would assume that's probably fishable.
Yep.
How it looks like from what I read. I mean, you would know more than me. Milfoil.
We finally just got it this last year.
Before that, you did
We
you
did
not have
not have
weeds?
it. We had weeds. We had good cabbage and curly pond weed, but they finally just found milfoil this last year and kind of spot treated it in a couple spots, and they've been doing the boat ramps here the last couple weeks and a couple other spot treatments.
So has milfoil been good?
We haven't really had it, so I mean, no, they don't want it in here at all.
Yeah,
Obviously,
no,
but as
I
far as fishing, you mean?
yeah, yes.
No, it's all the straight cabbage beds is what you
Okay,
fish. Yep.
all right. Because I know in the South at Cave Run, I'm a big the weed. We never had weeds for years.
Yep.
Until like the late '90s, and we started getting these. We started getting this like pond weed in there, and the fish really liked them, and all that. And then we got milfoil, and it was a godsend for our lake. The size of fish went up, the amount of fish you were catching went up. It made life so much easier, and it was great. So I love milfoil. But I grew up on a lake that you've seen it, has no houses, you can't have a dock. I'd never seen a lake house until I went to Wisconsin for the first time.
Right.
We just don't have those. We're on a flood control reservoir. It's a 300-foot setback, 300 foot on the top of a freaking hill.
Yep.
And so just something we'd never had. It was, you weren't allowed docking and all that stuff. So personally, we miss our milfoil just due to the high water over the last 12 years. We've had so much high water. You guys got to experience that this spring. You're welcome. Yep. It is, it's very beautiful when it's that high and you actually, you get hung on a toilet. It's one of those deals. And so I don't know what we've got for weeds right now. I really haven't talked to anybody, from back in Kentucky, and, I'm sure the weeds are going to be down this year. It never went down till almost the 4th of July. So that water was up for a while, but, I'd be curious to see. I mean, the fish I know will still use the milfoil. I mean, it's they might like the cabbage better, but milfoil to me makes sense. It's they're either in it or they're on the edge.
Yep.
And so I like it.
It's super new here for us. Like, we don't have it very thick at all yet. Okay. They just found certain little key spots that have it.
Uh-huh.
But you don't see it like major yet. Who knows? In the next couple of years we might. With clear being so shallow, I don't foresee it I don't know if it'll wreck the other weeds or what it'll do. But
on your lake that might be an issue. I can understand that, but I didn't think about that. But you're right. With it being so shallow, you might have, it could take over.
Yep.
That stuff can get like that. I know. You might be right on that. So want to take care of it while you can. For guys that are coming down there for the tournament, do you have any recommendation on lodging or things to, what should guys know that are coming down there for the tournament?
Yeah, there's tons of lodging, tons of hotels in towns, Airbnbs. Lakeside Inn is a really good one. It's right on the lake, and you can park your boats across the street. Rumors Hotel, right by Rumors Bar and Grill.
Ooh, Rumors Hotel. Now that's one.
You'd like that. They have midget wrestling sometimes, Greg.
You have no idea how much I enjoy that. I have. Or I was at it wasn't, let's just see. I watched a very small person take their clothes off one time, and it was very, very exciting for everyone involved, especially them. Although they looked dead inside, so I'm assuming it wasn't as exciting for them. But yes, midget. Oh God, I'm gonna love Iowa. Here I thought it was just pigs. It was no pigs. Anyway, moving on.
Tons of lodging, super good food places. Sevens on Main Street is a super good food place. OP, the other place. Bennigan's, where we're having the tournament headquarters.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot to do other than, everybody will be here pre-fishing hard, but there's stuff to do to have fun as well.
All right. Well,
Mason
so
City.
the tournament's end of September. What kind of watercolor will we be looking at?
It's pretty green right now. Hopefully, it usually clears up when the pleasure boaters kind of slow down. I foresee it clearing up a little bit. It's not, it'll still have a green tint to it, I'm sure, a little bit. But,
and when you, how like, what can you see your lure down typically? I mean, I'm sure green now. You probably
like a foot right now.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then does it clear up? I mean, it's called Clear Lake.
It does. It's super clear in the spring, and last November it was like an aquarium. It got so clear last November. So yeah, it cleared up.
Was it last year that I came down there with you, or 2 years ago?
2 springs ago. Yep.
Yeah, it was extraordinarily clear when I was there. That was early season though.
Okay. Yeah, Alec, I was going to ask you, he's from there. How have you been down there much, or?
I've been down there 3 times now. Very, very brief stints each time down, and it's a cool place. Like you said, the city's actually a pretty fun little town there. Great food. A lot of things to do. The lake itself, like it's very unique. I'll say that.
Okay.
Does take a little bit of time to get acquainted with how the body of water functions, I guess, fish wise. I struggled very much the first 2 times I went down there. And then he kind of showed me a little bit more of how things work, and it was eye opening, and it's a cool place though. It's a really lot of fish, and it seems like your guys' DNR is really doing a great job on top of things with the stocking program and the survey every spring, and seems like they're really doing a great job, and the fishery's kind of thriving.
No, I've actually heard that too, that Iowa's doing a great job. Iowa, along with Ohio, I think are the 2 best right now as far as fish management and stocking and all that stuff. So, no, I'm looking forward to it. The only other Iowa places I've fished has been Spirit and Okoboji, and I really liked it over there, except Okoboji was the craziest boat traffic I've ever seen in my life. It is, and Spirit had a ton of fish in it. I mean, hell, the tournament there on Spirit took 11 to win. And, Okoboji had some big fish. Hell, we got a 50-incher out of Spirit. So it's, so far I really like Iowa waters. I'm really looking forward to seeing Clear Lake. The only thing I'm worried about on Clear is the wind, because I just assume that it's going to be windy.
Yeah, it can get super windy too. The nice thing is late September, there'll be some pleasure boaters, but it's going to be thinned way down. So that shouldn't be too big of an issue, and it won't be anywhere near Bogie. But
that was wild.
If you get a solid northwest wind or a big south wind, it can be rough out there. Yeah,
well, I'm sure we'll probably get both the same day, the same time.
Right.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be neat. We're going to get down there on Monday, late Monday night before the tournament, and pre-fish 3 days and go out there and see what's going on and everything. But well, guys, thanks for coming on. We have we've went pretty good here. I know, Alex, you've got to go and get to work. Ryan, you got to get to work. I got to go fix the tiller handle somehow. I tried to actually use bucktail wire last night and wire my boat oar to the thing. Ooh. And of course, the first turn it broke off. So yes, it was good. So the vice grips was the best thing I could find. But you guys got to get on with your day, and You don't know how much I appreciate you guys coming on here with me and talking. I think guys are going to find it real interesting. And we will see you guys. Or is there anybody you would, I don't know if you guys have any sponsors or anything like that you'd like to thank or anything? Ryan, Alex?
I think we're all good.
I think we're good. I'd like to thank my mom, my dad.
Oh, yeah, the fam.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my Uncle Jeff. And I'm not going to thank Jim. I was never allowed to be alone with him when I was a child. Don't know why. And,
Thorn Brothers. I mean, Alex and I both run Thorn Brothers rods, and Tucker's been good to us. So shout out to them, Ben, and all those guys.
Shout out.
Tucker. He's a twerp. No, he's a good dude. But hey guys, I do appreciate you coming on here. It was fun. We'll get this baby up and live here soon. So guys, get to work. Congratulations on Cass Lake. You guys absolutely killed it. And I'm sure I'll be seeing you guys at Clear Lake here in about a month. All right.
You bet.
Thanks, Greg. Yep, we'll see you in a few weeks here.
All right, you guys have a good day, and hold on for me for just